Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks continued their reign of terror over Raw, and several interesting things continued to take place, so we'll see what's new there. Starting things off with the opening promo from the July 1st edition of Raw. The show kicked off with a promo from Jay about how he plans on winning the Money in the Bank contract, and he was quickly cut off by Chad Gable. Gable highlighted everything he's been through himself over the last few weeks, but how he as well plans on winning the Money in the Bank contract. But Chad Gable also made some eye-opening remarks that really started up some interesting theories. Chad Gable mentioned how he fully believes that Uncle Howdy and the Wyatt Sicks should be coming after Jay instead of him. Gable points out how Jay completely abandoned his family and how the Wyatt Sicks should be coming after Jay for that. Gable also pointed out how Jay even stole the Fireflies from the Wyatts. Gable was just really doing everything he could to try and deflect the Wyatts into following Jay and to stir the pot. Jay responded by saying that he doesn't want any issues with Uncle Howdy and how he always said they can have the Fireflies back. Jay said he doesn't mind if that means he got to stay with the mosquitoes or cockroaches. He wants to fully give the Fireflies back to the Wyatts. But Chad Gable did bring up a pretty fair point. From what has been alluded to so far, it does seem like Uncle Howdy has an issue with people who mistreat their families. And what Chad Gable said is true. After the events of SummerSlam 2023, Jay quit and abandoned his family. And this is some of the same things that Jimmy even said to Jay's face in the weeks leading up to their WrestleMania match. Jimmy told Jay that he just abandoned him and the family when he ran to Raw all by himself. So yes, that is true. If you want to label it as Jay abandoning his family, you technically can, but everyone knows that Jay was the victim there. He was nothing but loyal to his family members. It was only after he was betrayed by both his cousin and brother did he reach his breaking point and had to leave them. So looking at it through Howdy's perspective, that could mean that Jay is in the clear. Jay was nothing but loyal to the family, and they were the ones who turned their back on him. But the Wyatt Sicks theme song plays and Chad Gable instantly starts panicking. As Chad Gable is walking out through the crowd, he comes in contact with the silhouettes of Joe Gacy, Eric Rowan, and Dexter Lumis. He's able to escape them as he left through the crowd. And as far as the two missing Wyatt Sicks members goes, Nikki Cross appeared at ringside to drop off another package with a second tape inside. And that tape showed the whereabouts of Uncle Howdy. Howdy was still taking part in an interview session with Bo Dallas. There's no solid word on how long they've been in the interview for, but Bo opens it up by asking Howdy about how much longer are they going to keep doing this, which alludes to the idea that the interview has been going on for a while. But Howdy asks Bo Dallas if he honestly believes he brought them to life, possibly alluding to the Firefly Funhouse puppets. Bo tells Howdy that he believes that he was destined to do this. Bo points out they were the ones everyone wanted to forget about, how everyone wanted to abandon them. Howdy once again asks Bo Dallas about bringing them to life, and quick glimpse of the Funhouse puppets flash on the screen. Bo notes that the current Wyatt Sicks members weren't chosen, they were just willing to take part in everything. Bo says that they've become close and have become a family. Bo Dallas then drops arguably the most important quote from the interview when he said this quote, "Even now there's false prophets belittling their family for their own gain. It's disgusting. They must pay for their sins," end quote. And this is one of the biggest moments of the interview because it provides the context for why the Wyatts are coming after Chad Gable, and it also plants the seeds for their future targets long after Gable has been dealt with. As speculated about, Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy are coming after anyone that wrongfully mistreats their families. Bo lost his brother, and now he got this group of followers all together, so he knows how special and fragile families really are. So to see certain individuals taking the families they have for granted and mistreating them really disgusts him beyond words, and he feels like they must pay. So this perfectly gives us all the exposition needed on why the Wyatts are coming after Chad Gable. He had a close family that was very loyal and patient with him, but he started to abuse them and belittle them for his own gain, and Bo Dallas isn't going to let that fly. Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy then go back and forth overlapping each other with some of the things we've seen from the prior teasers, talking about how they're nobody, how they set them free, and how they're the reckoning. The tape ends with Bo Dallas evaporating and leaving just Uncle Howdy in the room by himself. And also in the closing moments of the segment, Howdy and Bo kept switching chairs, they were having their faces overlapping. It looks like one of the potential meanings behind that closing montage could be a sign that Bo Dallas and Uncle Howdy are not only the same person, but that Bo's regular mind is completely gone. All he knows is now being Uncle Howdy. So that ending was a bit ambiguous in that regard. That was either the end of Bo Dallas or maybe a sign that Howdy is controlling Bo's thoughts and actions from this point on. But getting back to what Bo said about the mistreatment of families, he said that there were false prophets out there, prophets obviously being a plural term. So Bo's issue looks like it isn't just with Chad Gable. It appears he has a long list of people that are committing similar sins to Chad Gable, and he's making sure they all pay. So it seems that Howdy is coming after everyone who's mistreating their family, abandoning them, and using them only for their personal gain. And going based off that idea, there are a few names that fit that description. Some fans are bringing up Dominic Mysterio. When you talk about mistreatment of family members and abandoning family, Dominic should be at the top of that list. Dominic brutally abandoned his father and continued to belittle Ray and speak lies about him for several years now. So going based off that, it looks like Howdy should be paying Dominic a visit down the line. We go back to Jay. Like we mentioned before, Jay is a toss-up potential target for the Wyatts because you can argue that Jay did the right thing and was simply just trying to break free from a sadistic family member. Or you can argue that Jay still abandoned his family either way, so he's still in the wrong. That'll be up to Howdy to decide. Another prime potential target on the list is Solo Sikoa. Now, there's someone who's literally mistreating family members all for the sake of their personal gain. Solo is the literal embodiment of the type of false prophets Bo Dallas was talking about. So that one single line from Bo Dallas opens up the door to a bunch of potential rivals for the group. It's also important to know that Uncle Howdy is the only member who hasn't been seen physically at Raw since the debut massacre, most likely due to the fact that he was busy with the Bo Dallas interview. So once that fully wraps up, maybe that's when we could see Uncle Howdy get busy and physical again. The interview and some comments from Michael Cole also confirmed that the current Wyatt Sicks members may not be going by their old names anymore. When Nikki Cross dropped the tape off to Michael Cole, he refused to acknowledge her as Nikki Cross, a sign that these individuals may be taking on completely different personas. And in the interview itself, it looks like Howdy even acknowledged the fact that the Wyatt Sicks members are just the Firefly Funhouse puppets that have now come to life. Each Wyatt Sicks member is dressed in matching attires to the Funhouse puppets, so that seems to be what happened there. But Howdy was questioning Bo on if he felt like the puppets came to life because of him, or for other reasons. But Bo Dallas owned up to it and said that he was destined for this responsibility. The Wyatt Sicks should continue their focus on Chad Gable in the upcoming few weeks, and then maybe they start coming after more of those false prophets. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.